Chipped ham and football. That's what Pittsburgh does. Merry Christmas, everyone. Brian Batko here from the Post-Gazette. Thank you for checking out the show. As I always say, there's a plethora of Steelers podcasts out there. And if you click this one for the first time or the 50th time, really do appreciate it. Steelers Chiefs coming up on Wednesday, a.k.a. Christmas Day, a.k.a. tomorrow. Games at 1 p.m. at Acrisure Stadium, locally on KDKA, globally on Netflix. Our guest today is Derek Watt, former Steelers fullback and special teams captain, now retired from the NFL, and you may know his younger brother, TJ, still plays for the team currently. His older brother, JJ, actually is going to be doing color commentary, his debut in that seat for this game. So really pumped Derek's thoughts on all of that when he jumps on here. But first, a message from Pella. There's no better place to get new windows and doors installed in your home than Pella. They can help you save on your energy costs year-round. It's really cold out right now in Western PA. Schedule a free in-home consultation with your local Pella Windows and Doors of Pittsburgh to find the right product for your home and your budget. Give them a call at 866-593-1560 to get started planning your project further. That's 866-593-1560 to discuss new windows and doors installation with Pella Windows and Doors of Pittsburgh. Okay, let's get to our conversation with Derek Watt. All right, there he is. Derek Watt played for the Steelers from 2020 to 2022, announced his retirement from the NFL earlier this year after 7 seasons. Now gets to lean in on full-time dad, son, brother, uncle. Thanks so much for taking out some time during this holiday week. And Merry Christmas, Derek. How's it going?
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And yes, exciting week with Christmas here with the kids. But yeah, thanks for having me and look forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, first off, man, what are you doing to stay busy post-football? I know you said when we were just coming on before here that you got your workout in today. What else are you up to these days? Back home in Wisconsin, right? What are your days looking like now?
Yeah, back home in Wisconsin, like you said, working out a couple days a week, just staying healthy, staying fit. At least still trying to look like I did play football at one time.
And you got to chase your kids around, so
and,
that's helpful too.
Yep, longevity is the key. Trying to just stay in good shape for as long as possible for the kids. I coached T-ball last summer. I'm coaching some 5K first grade basketball right now, so that's an adventure in and of itself. But yeah, just kind of keeping the kids keeping us busy, having some extra good quality time with the wife and kids and my parents and whatnot. So not upset I didn't play a game 2 days ago and turned around and playing one here in 3 days. So 2
Yeah,
days.
absolutely. Yeah, we're taping this on Monday, and this is going to air on Tuesday. So, like you said, you've got a big game to watch. On Christmas Day, in between setting up whatever toys you guys get and whatever else comes up. Steelers Chiefs, AFC playoff seeding on the line at this point. But are you more excited to watch TJ try to sack Patrick Mahomes or JJ call a game for the first time in the booth?
I'm excited for both. I know Jade is excited. It's going to be a little different, since we've both been in retirement here. Our group chat it's always been active on game day. If it timed out right and we were able to watch some of the other brothers' games, but Jade has been heavily involved in the group chat throughout the game, obviously. And now that he's going to be calling it, I think he'll have his hands full and not be at the phone as often. So it'll be exciting to watch him get his first opportunity to really call a game and hopefully call out a couple sacks for Tej. But very excited, looking forward to it for both of them. Cool experience for both of them. Playing on Christmas Day is awesome. Like you said, playoff implications, division implications on the line. So just definitely exciting times and cool for them to be together for it.
Do you think he'll be tougher on TJ than other guys and maybe a little hesitant to hype him up? Or do you think it might be difficult for him to kind of take on the critical side and for that to come out, talking objectively about his brother during a game or just for the Steelers in general during this game?
Yeah, I think he's going to have a good grasp on kind of that middle ground where, he's done a little bit of that stuff in the pregame shows on the McAfee show. He's talked about TJ enough, in terms of having those conversations where they try to get you to say something and he's obviously got a little bias to him being a brother, but he knows what it takes and knows the kind of stuff that TJ does and how capable, and what teams do to try to eliminate him and the lengths that they do. So I'm sure he'll touch on that and get a little bit of game plan specific on, uh, you know, he may not be making these flash plays because they're doing X's and O's to eliminate him. So, I'm interested to see, how he portrays that to the audience. And, like I said, I know he's really looking forward to it, and I think he's going to do great. And, like I said, hopefully he doesn't have to be biased, and he's just got good things to say all game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be like a group chat happening in real time for him. So, um,
Exactly.
have you been watching Hard Knocks at all with the Steelers being featured on there? Is it because obviously you lived that life for a few
Yeah.
years? You checked it out at all just to see what they're showing as far as a peek behind the curtain in Pittsburgh?
I have. I've watched it a little bit. I've yeah, mostly focused on the Steeler stuff. I watched and skimmed through some of the other things, but just good to see. Like I said, I've been in those meetings. I've been on those trips. I've been, I kind of know what's going on, and everyone is kind of getting a little glimpse, and it really is just a little glimpse into a Mike Tomlin led team, and so it's cool to kind of hear some reactions from family, friends, and just people you run into that or you see stuff online. Just how awesome that they feel like it is, and it's like that's just how it is. It's not really, it's no different. There's no show being put on. It's just kind of really literally how it is.
Yeah, it's been cool for us beat writers too. I mean, I think like obviously we see him at practice and at camp every day, but we never really see like meeting room Mike Tomlin and the way he talks to you guys
Yeah.
behind closed doors. So that's been an interesting glimpse as well. I feel like there hasn't been a ton of TJ yet though, so maybe they're saving that for Wadapalooza Wednesday in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think part of it might be by design. I mean, just don't need the extra distraction, all that kind of stuff. I know JJ was out there a couple weeks ago for the Browns game, and get a little feature, a little picture here, a little picture there, but just trying to stay, focused as best you can, and eliminate some extra distractions that don't need to be there, and obviously give access where it's needed, and but just kind of keeping a low profile. He gets enough distraction going on outside interviews, things like that. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure there'll be some extra footage from it this week on Wednesday, but
A couple years
uh,
ago, you made it on there kind of in a roundabout way with JJ's phone call to you while he was driving. Did you know that was happening at the time? That was right around Christmas too.
I'm trying to remember. I do think he might have said either on the call, he said, "By the way, you might be recorded right now," or something
Like
like that.
there's
He
a
kind of
camera in
gave
the
me a
car or
little tip,
something.
but I
Yeah.
at the time, I didn't fully know. So I think there was like a little bit of a hey, heads up,
Yeah.
don't say anything dumb. But it wasn't, it doesn't like alter what you're talking about.
Yeah. As far as the Steelers, I mean, not right. Not much went right offensively or defensively in Baltimore for him. But the unit that you used to be in meeting rooms with the most and leading out onto the field as a captain, the special teams, they still made some plays with James Pierre punching that ball out. They couldn't get on it, unfortunately for them. Boswell hitting another 50-yarder, 50
Yep.
plus yarder like it's nothing. I mean, what can you say about the 3 years that you spent running out there with those guys, Boz, Miles Killebrew, Christian Kuntz and company, and why they continue to be so reliable and consistent game in and game out and season in and season out? Because they've also got, I've lost track of how many blocks they've had this year too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it all starts with Danny Smith. I was at the helm. It's just the culture, the emphasis put on it, the cut ups that he puts together for guys to watch throughout the week with pointers, things to look at, and just kind of, it really is. When you've been in other places and you've worked with other guys or you talk to other guys, it's like they don't do that everywhere. You don't get those little tidbits that can really go a long way. So Danny really sets the table for it, puts an emphasis on it. Ball search, ball security things are just a global throughout the whole team emphasis, but even in special teams, it's emphasized. So I'm not surprised to see turnovers that way. Like you said, just ball didn't bounce their way, couldn't get on top of that one. But yeah, I mean, Boz obviously has just been lights out this year. His whole career he's been excellent, obviously, but just this year just seems to be really taking it to another level and implementing his status as best kicker in the league. And you're always confident when he walks out there, it's going through the uprights. Sorry. And
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean they just got a great unit of guys. Some guys that are veterans have been there a long time and been doing it. And like you said, Miles has a lot of blocks in his career and really works on that as his craft. And Christian, one of my good buddies, obviously holding it down at long snapper. But they got a good core group of guys and guys that buy in and literally that just take it. You know, a lot of times those guys, that's where you're playing your snaps. That's where you play majority of your snaps. So you got to take it seriously, and that's your key phase. And there's definitely emphasis and pride put on it.
Yeah, it always amazes me how much like the core special teamers, like you said, study that phase of the game. Like I think Ben Skoranek was telling me after one of the games recently, and this was maybe coming from Danny too. It's like he watched every single Kadarius Toney return like ever to prepare for facing. He was with the Browns at that time, and Miles will rattle off operation times or whatever. I mean, does a lot of that just come back to like you said, Danny Smith having those stacks and stacks of papers and stats on his desk that he drills into you guys every meeting, every practice, every game on the sideline?
I mean, it's one of those where Danny provides you with the things you need to know. Like
The
he'll
answers to the
cut out the
test, as he
fat.
always says
Like
at practice, right?
yeah, like he cuts out the fat so you don't have to sit through and watch a full game and be like, oh, is this clip important? Is this clip important? Because there's a touchback you're sifting through and it can take so much longer. He trims the fat on all that so you watch what's truly important and what he feels like is going to contribute to the game plan. So he, like you said, gives you the answers to the test. What you do with that is up to you. There are absolutely guys who that's about the surface level. They just kind of watch what's necessary. Sometimes not even that. Don't really take advantage of it. But if you truly take advantage and put the time in, yeah, guys like you just mentioned and myself, like I'm getting massage during the week. I'm watching kickoff return film. I'm watching punt return cut ups that Danny's put together, trying to see the guys that you're going against, just like you do on offense and defense. But there are just opportunity out there. There's opportunities out there, and that special teams is one of those things where those phases where you get a 8, 9 year veteran going up against a rookie that's out there that there is a huge gap there in terms of knowledge, in terms of experience, and Coach Tomlin's always harped on that, and that's where you get one of the biggest discrepancies in the game, where guys that can really truly take advantage of their skills and their craft and put all their knowledge to use, and beat a guy that's just out there filling a spot right now as a body because he's not in on offense or defense, and he's out there and got to contribute.
Would you have liked to play with this new kickoff role, Derek?
I don't know. I honestly haven't really talked to guys about it enough. I was up there for one of the games against the Chargers, and I talked to Danny Smith for a while at Christian Kuntz's wedding. Just mostly just great to see those guys again. Not really, getting into it, but I don't know. Honestly, that's something I will reflect on with some of those guys after the year. I feel like to get their opinions on it, but it's extremely different, obviously, from when I was there. So never had to do it, never had to worry about it. So we'll be very interested to see their kind of feedback on it.
Absolutely. Switching gears a little, when it comes to Russell Wilson, I won't ask you to evaluate his QB play or anything like that, but I mean, it occurred to me that you guys were teammates for a year, right, at Wisconsin with the
We
Badgers. It
were.
would have been his final collegiate year and only season there, and your first. Do you have any good Russ stories from your time together in Madison? And is it kind of wild now to see him playing with TJ and as QB1 for the Steelers?
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely know Russ going back. I mean, that was my freshman year. So I was playing scout team linebacker at the time.
Ever pick
So I
him
came
off?
in as a linebacker. So I don't think I ever picked him off. Russ obviously was dynamic. We went to the Rose Bowl that year. And obviously he's, the type of player and the caliber player he is. Just hard worker. Obviously, again, there was an age gap where like I wasn't going hanging out with Russ. I was a scout team freshman linebacker, wasn't hanging out with the transfer in senior QB
Yeah.
that's a little bit older. So don't have many stories outside of the facility, but obviously just came to work every day. Took it very seriously, wanted to be good, wanted to elevate our team, and came in and did just that. And went to the Rose Bowl, had success. Got to see him a little bit. Throughout our careers, obviously throughout our careers, cross paths, and then when I was up there earlier this season for the game, just catching up with him a little bit there, and it's awesome to see. He's definitely still got it, and he's playing very well. Just got to kind of get some. Everything's got to click here coming down the stretch and get some bodies back. Obviously, George being back will be huge for the offense.
Yeah, I know he wasn't starting yet when you were here for the Chargers game, and then he wasn't also starting the other time that you came up this season, which was the lightning delay for the Cowboys game when the guy was in the stands at Acrisure Stadium wearing his Derek 44 jersey. Did you ever connect with that guy? Did you ever get a chance to send him something nice out of appreciation? And what was the deal there? Is he just like a fullback aficionado or what?
I did. So he actually. So I think I posted a little thing about him on my story. he had DM'd me and said something about always repping. He's been repping me my whole career, or at least since I was in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So we kind of exchanged some messages back and forth. I got his address, and funny story. I guess so I gave him a signed jersey because his one is obviously all damp and wet,
Yeah.
and he needed a new dry one. So I got him a jersey, signed it
Must
for
have
him.
gotten tattered a little when they carried him out of there.
Yeah,
Really
exactly.
just
When he
trying to
got
stay in the
escorted
throw.
out, probably some markings on it. But I also one of our good buddies is a basketball coach locally here at university, and he happened from throughout recruiting had because this guy's name was Mitch, played basketball in college and happened to. We were looking something up and we found his school and he was like, "Wait, I actually think I have a sweatshirt from that school from recruiting." And so he gave me the sweatshirt and a little surprise in the package. I sent it was a the Loggers was the name. I can't remember what it was, but the Loggers. I signed a sweatshirt from his college that he played basketball at, and sent it to him too, and he loved that. He sent me a picture back of the jersey and the sweatshirt, and thought it was a cool touch. So I got to connect with Mitch, and it was very cool to see him out there and stuck it out through the rain.
Yes, yes, he did, and he was rewarded for it, I guess, in the end. So, all right, Derek. Well, I can't. I feel like I can't end this conversation without giving you a chance to make the case for TJ as Defensive Player of the Year for 2024. Not that he needs anybody's endorsements at this point, but I know you guys are as passionate about being each other's biggest fans as you should be. So the floor is yours to say, why you think he should bring home the hardware again, or just kind of speak to his overall greatness. I mean, after a lot of people, myself included, thought he probably should have won it last year too.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, he's been just dominant for a number of years now here, and just kind of been so consistent. It's pretty ridiculous when you think about it, how consistent he's been, and even this year, and it's still up in the top five in sacks, and doing what he's doing with teams game planning him the way that they are, and chipping him so much. Um, Honestly, though, I think at the end of the day, his main goal is still getting a playoff win, and stringing some together here at the end of the year, and winning the Super Bowl would be the ultimate reward and title that he'd like to have more so than that. But I mean, like you said, he's still up there, top five in sacks. He gets chipped in game plan, like I talked about. It really is. You can see it, and if you don't see it, I mean, you're trying not to see it. That he is literally being game planned to not make plays, and still goes and punches out balls and
Yeah, I was
finds
gonna say
ways
the
to make
forced
an impact.
fumbles
And
are the big thing to me too. I
the
mean, I believe he's still leading the league in terms of the forced fumbles. So yeah,
It's
was
not
he
even
always good
close.
at
I mean,
that?
it's
Did he
like the
punch the ball
last.
out from you guys a lot when he was little?
It's just, I mean, it's just one of those things he's really good at, and again, pride in the details. It's something that just honing your craft, and again, ball security is global throughout the whole team. There, it's preached all the time, and so just when he's become so good at it that it's the peanut punch type of thing that he's kind of taken his own form on that, and you don't always get it, but more often than not, if you get right on that thing, it's going to come out. So he even had the one on the sack the other, I think 2 games ago. I was like,
Yeah,
how
in
did
Philly.
Jalen Hurts hold on to that ball?
I don't know
He
either.
just
That was
didn't get quite
absurd that Jalen didn't drop that. I mean,
didn't get
TJ,
quite
it
enough
looked like
on
TJ
that,
got it
but
right on the laces just about.
yeah. So he's, like I said, he just is truly always trying to find that way to elevate his game. Knowing that teams are trying to take him out in terms of sacks, and still being able to do that, but then finding a way. Whenever there's a big play that's needed, more often than not, he'll come through for you. And so that's just one of those things that he's so valuable. And year after year, year in year out, just continuing that success. And just very proud as an older brother and former teammate, and just all that, and watching. Just super proud of him and everything he's doing, and absolutely deserving of any and all awards he accumulates.
As a ball carrier, an offensive guy, do you wish they would outlaw that defender punch? Because some of those are pretty vicious when they come in for the ball, and if they miss, I can't imagine that feels good, Derek.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that don't feel good.
Yeah,
So I don't think throwing a punch. I think JJ's already mentioned before. Offensive cut blocks, and but then you got all these defensive rules. There's a lot of things that don't necessarily feel good. I think worst case, you maybe get a dead arm or something, or I guess you get hit in an area you don't want to get hit with a punch. May be unfortunate, but I think that one it'd be tough to outlaw a punch on a ball. So I think that's going to stay, and he is the best at it. So hopefully get some more out by the end of the year here.
all right, last one for you. Given that it's Christmas week, what's the best gift you ever got from one of your brothers, or what's the best gift you ever got one of them?
Best
Put you
gift
on
we
the
got
spot.
from was probably a trip to Europe from JJ. His first or second year in the league, he got TJ and I a trip to Europe. We together, the three of us went. It was like 3 days in Dublin, 3 days in London, 3 days in Paris, 3 days in Rome. So it was kind of cool, just a brothers trip. Got to go all across and explore. So that was pretty awesome. Gift that I've gotten them, I don't know.
Nephews?
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure. We just got we got our nephew Koa pretty good. He was up here recently and there was this toy he just could not get enough of. So I think that one's gonna put a smile on his face when he gets that one coming up here. It's actually pretty cool. It's like a lizard that vacuums to the wall and climbs around the wall, so it's pretty cool. But no, gifts are hard, man. Nowadays, it's one of those things too. And everybody's got everything. They can get what they want. And when you get to adults, it's like, let's just cut it off with the kids. Let's get the kids
I
things.
just
It's
meant
so
you
hard
got
to.
them their first nephews. So I mean that alone is a present right there.
Yeah, I think it became uncles. That's for sure. Yeah, they got to become uncles, and now I'm going to become an uncle once again here in February. So looking forward to TJ having their first one.
Yeah, that'll be fun for the whole Watt family. So, all right, hey, well, I'll let you go on that one. Thank you again for doing this and providing some insight, Derek. Obviously, your family and what you've all done is one of the best football stories really ever. So, it's always gratifying to chat with any of you, and I hope it's a happy, healthy holiday season. Enjoy the games and the playoffs. Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Merry Christmas.
Yep. You too. See you, Derek. All right, there he goes. That was Derek Watt, kind enough to join us here on the Chip Tam and Football Show this week. Quick word from another sponsor before we go. If you were diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer, call your local attorneys at Goldberg, Persky, and White. For more than 40 years, their firm has represented thousands of lung cancer and mesothelioma victims. Call 1-800-COMPLEX or visit gpwlaw.com for your free consultation. As Derek said, best wishes to everyone out there on this Christmas Eve. Leave some cookies and milk out tonight for the big guy, please. Soak in the moment tomorrow if you do celebrate. And if not, well, if you're watching or listening to this, I know you'll be tuned into Steelers Chiefs. So if you're headed to the game, be safe. If you're following from home or watching with friends and family, have a great time. Check out our in-game and post-game coverage from the Post-Gazette. And we will talk to you all again soon.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.